Well, hello! It's the Retro Tech 120p challenge, because of course it is. The imaginary 20p has been thrown at an Outrun cabinet. It's somehow landed right in that slot, and I am sat in front of it, having not done hardly any tweaking to the controls, which is very rare for a driving game that's being played on the Retro Tech 120p challenge. I've had to do none of that sensitivity tweaking. I've chosen a nice, easily handleable car. So let's see how far I get. Sean Reynolds definitely set the pace with his phenomenal run on the very first night of play. He's definitely the one to beat. I'm definitely not the one to beat him, as we set off on a wonderful journey across the world, because in this game you have to drive across the world. Do you want to go west across the world, or do you want to go east across the world? Sean chose west. I'm following him because it'd be easier for Christian to judge when decent people play. So yeah, this is Outrunners. It was the third arcade iteration of Outrun, after Outrun and Turbo Outrun. No Battle Outrun was on the Sega Master System, and Outrun Europa was shite, and it was on the computers. Mega Drive, I believe. But yes, this is got all the traits of a good Outrun game. Not quite as good as Outrun 2, but it's alright. It's not as good as Outrun 1 either, to be honest. Outrun 1 being my number one game of 1986. If you wanted to have a look at that video, you can. It was one of the last 2D games that Sega did that was very successul. I say 2D, you look at it and everything's moving towards you, but it's using, of course, that thing that Power Drift did 4 years before, which is where they use a clever use of sprite design and parallax scrolling. I'm in Hawaii. Did you notice I got to Hawaii across a bridge from San Francisco, and it took all of 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds. That's your average lap in this game. So yeah, I got across from San Francisco to Hawaii in about 5 seconds. Geography doesn't work like that, Outrunners. What else can I tell you about Outrunners? So yeah, as you can see, it's pan-continental, so you have to drive across the world. It was one of the last games on the arcade system 32. 1993, so we were very close to things like virtual racing coming out, when Sega got their 3D kit out and they went, oh, look at these lovely polygons, and so that's where we ended up. Yeah, it looks really weird on MAME, obviously, because it's a sort of a dual screen effect going on there for 2 players. I'm sure there is a one screen version. I couldn't be bothered to look, I'll be honest. It plays the same. So I got to Hong Kong there, I believe. Sean, I think, managed to make it all the way across that last dot. Well done him. He sure knows how to drive. There was an absolutely terrible... Doesn't he look like Kevin Smith, that guy? There was an absolutely terrible Mega Drive port made by Data East, and the magazine Mega gave it a rather crappy 20%. I don't even remember Mega that well, if I'm being honest. I've chosen to stick with the same car, by the way, this time, but with automatic transmission. You see the little fella there. He's a sort of nerdy guy, looks like Rick Moranis in Little Shop of Horrors, and he's driving with a female Trump supporter from the look of her hat. She's probably going to be off shooting varmints soon. So yeah, this I quite like the way I've never really played this game until this week. It's no Outrun, and it's no Outrun 2, but it does its thing. It's probably the third best of the big 3 Outrun arcade games. But you know what? It's fine. It plays perfectly well. If you're a fan of Outrun, do try it. I'm driving across the Golden Gate Bridge there. Who doesn't love San Francisco? I'd hate living there, wouldn't you? I always get killed by that building as well. Everything's hilly. You'd have good thighs, but yeah. Anyway, I think we're about to go into Hawaii, aren't we? And going into Hawaii means we should talk about Hawaiian mammals. Now, there are 2 indigenous Hawaiian mammals. There is the Hawaiian hoary bat, which you'd think I'd talk about, considering it's got the word whore in it. But I'm not going to talk about the hoary bat. I'm going to talk about the Hawaiian monk seal in this week's Genital Fact of the Week. So, the Genital Fact of the Week is, well, I'm sure you have always wondered, as have I, where a seal keeps its genitals. Well, it hides it in its body so it remains streamlined like a dog-faced torpedo. The males compete with each other to own a beach and become a beach master, which attracts the female to them. The female will give her genes to what she sees as a winning male. This is a similar technique to which Danny Bear used during her 90s Premiership Football Club phase. Yes, that's how she did it. So yeah, my run is about to come to an end. As you can see, I'm absolutely abysmal at driving cars to attract young ladies. My midlife crisis is going terribly. There will be better drivers. Please stay tuned for them and join the RetroTech 120p group because it's a lot of fun. Link will be down below in the description. And I guess I shall see you anon in the future for more RetroTech 20p nonsense and genital facts. Okay, thanks and bye.